Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Uh, I'm Barb, and this is Random Crafty X. This video is part of a series that I'm doing for my next box of donation to Operation Gratitude, and I'm kind of mid-creation here, so I thought it might be a good time to step in and let you see how that part of my process works. Where's the card? There's the thing I keep showing for each of these. I put together a big project not too long ago, and I bought a bag of these pieces that are die cut, pre-die cut, and they're kind of heavy. They're not chipboard heavy, but I would say that's probably 120-pound cardstock weight. And they were extremely varied. I mean, there's books, there's animals, there's flowers, there's things that hang on a wall. And so I've been putting together cards. And as I keep saying, the one thing that I'm down to that I haven't found a home for yet are these two little bitty deer, male deer, two in gray, on kind of pink. The big ones were easy to find a way to put on a card. These I still haven't come up with an idea yet, but we'll get there. Something will happen in my head. So in the previous couple of videos, I was at the point where I had already done a card, and I just let you watch me make the second card because there were two of each of those things in that bag of 100. This time, I thought I'd let you watch me struggle with trying to figure out colors, because while the first time through I pulled out everything that was in a based on size, this time when I got down to this point, I was looking at things like color, what I could find that would coordinate. For example, these are there's two little squirrels. Okay, well, one in each one. This is kind of a minty green, not quite a teal. So I just dug through my pattern paper and found two pieces that I'm going to be able to cut up. I tried putting it on white and on black and on brown and didn't feel happy about that. So what I looked at was how there's these pinkish little flowers. And so one of the things we do when we're putting our cards together is and doing embellishments is you can think about how your mat, how you can pull colors from different places in the embellishments and such. So while I probably would not normally put this raspberry pinkish color with this, because of this, I think it's going to work. Now, in a previous video, I used one of my nested dies to make little X's, so you can look back. I'll leave a link to that below. So I figured that would go here. Okay. And then this would go here. And I just still felt like something was missing. So the solution to this is to add another layer. And that is to put a layer in behind here that will be out here, and then that will work. And that decision will work if I had enough of this, okay? Which I happen to. There happened to be 3 of these pieces in the pack that I pulled out of. So the next thing we need to do here is to measure this. Okay, so that's 1, 2, that's 1 inch and 7/8. Okay, so 1 inch and 7/8, so we want it to be a little more than 2, that direction. And I'm going to write that down so I can look at my math. And then 1, 2, 3. That's a little more, these are just a little bit more than 3. 2, 3. So it's 1 7/8. 3. It's not quite an eighth. Well, actually, yeah, it is. Okay. You're about to watch me do what is like way not my forte. All right, there's 1 7/8. There's 2. I think I want it to be 2 1/8. 2 1/8. So 3 1/8. 3 1/4. Let's see how that looks. Okay. That leaves a nice little edge. It looks like that. Like that 3 1/8. Okay. So 3 1/4. If you're a math person, I am going to guess that you're like having a conniption, because some of us are math people and some of us are not. And I have watched some people do some amazing things in just calculating, and then there's someone I watch who said, I will pause the video now while I figure out the math, because I don't do public math. Okay, let's put these. We'll go ahead and do both of these embellishments here, and then we'll cut the base pieces. Okay. And then we'll put our sweet little squirrel on here. We have a yard full of squirrels. They're one of our sources of entertainment. Okay, and we'll put this. This is the 4 by 5 1/4 mat on the 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. Hope I'm in frame. Let me. And then, yeah, this is a totally different color on the back. That was one of the things about this paper pack that I bought. And I think I'm going to try to center it so that all the colors kind of come together. And then take my piece of cardstock, 110-pound index cardstock. This is referred to as a bone folder. I don't know why. I'm 100% positive you could not fold a bone with that, but and it's plastic. It's not like, but that's what they call it. Okay. Look how springy that comes out looking. Wow, really nice. Okay, let's whip one more of these out. So 5 3/8. And that's kind of how my creative process is I just start putting those things together. Now, how did I get there? I started making cards 5 years ago. I started with art journaling and junk journaling and a whole bunch of things that just kept piling up. And then I got into card making, and I had a friend who was really, really good at this. And I watched every video I could come across. And I have followed some absolutely incredible people. And I made my cards the way they made their cards. And in doing so, I learned how different pieces go together. And you begin to understand that if you look at the on the playlists, if you look at the ones that say basic card making, I went into like real detail on why we cut mats the width that we do, and how different pieces kind of fit together. There are some amazing things out there that you can do, and but I did it with, I learned how to do this by trial and error. I mean, I've thrown some things away. I also am a big proponent of the fact that most things that you do can be fixed. I have a video out there where I systematically just miscut a whole bunch of stuff. And rather than go in and edit the video, I just like walk through, okay, so this is the wrong width. So to adjust, I would cut this way and cut that way. And then this would just have to go in the scrap bin. Okay. Wow, look at that. I am stunned, ladies and gentlemen, because anyone who knows me well knows that color is not my forte. All right. Okay, Random Acts of Kindness Studios. Thanks to my granddaughter. All right, so that's 2. And then I had just done this one, so since I've got the video running, I'll go ahead and do this. This one, the troublesome thing was trying to figure out the background. And okay, so I had those little squares, those thinking of you squares, and I kept like taking this little guy and putting him in here, and I couldn't get comfortable with it. So I ended up pulling out one of the circles. So this won't take much to put together. And this was double-sided paper. It was the whole pack was all about magnolias. But I really like the green, and the green is you can't feel any texture, but it looks like it has texture. Okay, and then use my finger dauber here to give this. What this really does when you do this is it gives it depth. These are really inexpensive. If you're diligent, you can, I'm really not, you can wash these out. Like if I had, like every time I used one, I had taken them in and washed them out. They maybe last a little longer. I've also had some that I just went through and threw a bunch of them out because they had been so used that the spongy thing had started to actually wear off and shred on what I was doing. But it just kind of adds some depth to. Okay. Let me put this on the card base. mounted correctly, which I'm pretty sure I have. All right, the other thing that comes up for discussion is where on the front do you want to put your sentiment when you're doing something like this? One theory is you want to put it as close to this side to make the person curious about opening, okay? I tend towards this side. It also depends on what kind of an image you have up here. For example, like on this one, there was nothing, this is nothing spectacular going on here, whereas the leaves kind of have a way of drawing your eye to them. So putting this in the middle worked well, and it was larger. This is kind of smaller. You put it down here in the corner, and you kind of see the edge of the green. Also, by highlighting this in brown, you're kind of bringing the brown in from the outside here and bringing that forward. And that is based on absolutely nothing other than my imagination. I do not have an art history degree. I've probably heard that someplace. Okay, let's put these in envelopes and update our... Oh, I got 2 more I need to stamp the back off. I keep real close track of how many cards I have put in the box, because when you fill out the donation sheet, they do want to know how many cards you're sending. And I wouldn't remember otherwise. I'm sure there are people out there who would, but it isn't me. Okay. If you have not yet, I would really appreciate if you would subscribe to my channel. It doesn't cost you anything. You won't start getting an email. You won't get texts. What is gained from that is if someone 24, if someone is looking for a if they're searching for card making or whatever, my channel will pop up depending on how many subscribers and how many likes and all of those kinds of things. So it does help for that. I always put a link to Operation Gratitude in all of my card making videos in order to promote this wonderful organization. Okay, so if you could subscribe, I would really appreciate it. All you have to do is click on the name of the channel and you'll see a little subscribe button, and you can click on that. You can click the thumbs up to give me a like, and that helps too. All right, dropping these into the box, 124 cards, and I'll show you so you can see, so you know it's not imaginary. 124 cards. All right, we will just keep at it. And thank you for being here. And if you have any questions, just drop them in the comments, or if you're with Operation Gratitude, you can put them over on the Facebook page and click my name. I'm Barbara Hampton, and I will certainly answer you. All right, thank you very much.